Hello grade 12, welcome to 2021. Exciting new year. Right, so let us introduce everything and the work that we're going to do for the year. First of all, you go to your Teams and you open your class. Go to Files and Class Materials. In Class Materials, you'll see a whole lot of extra work here, and that is definitely these items you will use and refer to, and you can go and get them anytime you want in the future. But for now, we're going to go to the 2021 folder, grade 12 IT. In there, you'll see two things so far. We have a year and week planner, so let's go and study that quickly. It's a rough plan. Obviously, the dates are going to change. They're not official dates, but it's an approximate in terms of the dates of opening and closing terms. But it's an approximation. It's a work in progress. And I'm just opening the Excel spreadsheet. And scroll to the top. Right, term 1. This week and next week, you are going to do 5 theory chapters. You're going to study the 5 theory chapters and you're going to do 5 theory quizzes. So 2 this week and 3 next week. So every day in your half-hour lesson, you will work on that theory work and do the quizzes. I will provide short videos if you to help you along the way, but you have to work on those quizzes. Even if you don't finish it in the half hour, you have to carry on as homework, so that'll be your homework for every day. Right, so we'll do chapter 1 and chapter 2 quizzes. The chapter 1 quiz you can start today, and the chapter 2 quiz will be on as an assignment tomorrow. And then 3, 9 and 10 will be loaded as well next week on Monday. Right, now after the theory, we're going to start the practical when you come back to school. We will do user-defined methods for a week. And then after that, we'll do object-oriented programming. That's what OOP stands for. And then we will do the databases and SQL for the rest of the term. At the end of the term, and of course, you will receive your PAT, and then you'll start your PAT. And at the end of the term, you have to hand in PAT phase 1.1. The assessment will be your theory test for 1 hour and a practical test for 1 hour for term 1. In term 2, we'll do 6 theory chapters, and that is the rest of the theory book. We have to finish the theory by the end of term 2, so you'll have 6 theory quizzes at the end of term 2, and then you must do databases and SQL. We will do that in class, and then 2D arrays. The rest of the term, hopefully we'll have time to do PAT in the lessons. There's a chapter on PAT in your practical book. The assessment for term 3 is a 1 hour 50 mark test. Then term 3, that's term 2 done. Term 2 is 1 assessment, term 1 is 2 assessments. Term 3 is just your trial exam, a 3-hour theory paper for 150 marks and a 3-hour practical paper for 150 marks. You have to hand in your PAT 1 week before the trial exam start. Hand-in date will be provided as soon as we get the exact dates. Then for term 3, hopefully we'll have finished all the practical, but we will do PAT in your lessons, and you will do revision before you write your trial. Approximate date start on the 30th of August. Then in term 4, it's all revision and case studies. Your PAT will have been handed in already, so there'll be 2 weeks or so, or 3 weeks hopefully, that you'll have revision before you write your final exam on the 25th, hopefully from the 26th to the 9th, 26th of October to 9th of December, final exams. It's just an approximation, okay? Same as your trial exam, 3-hour theory paper, 3-hour practical paper, each 150 marks. So your trial exam is basically practice for your final exam. Then we have the revise the program of assessment, remember your trial exam and the 3 tests will be your SBA, and it's converted to 25% or quarter of your whole mark. Your term 4 final exam is 50% of your whole mark, and your PAT is another 25% of your whole mark. So all of the SBA, including the trial exam, is a quarter of your whole mark. The PAT is the other quarter of your whole mark, and your final exam, external exam, is 50% of your whole mark. So that is what you're going to work towards in order to get a good grade 12 pass. So today we have to introduce you to your textbook. We're going to use only the electronic textbook. You might have noticed everyone is that we are using the electronic textbook, and we find that in the grade 12 IT 2021 folder. Note all of these other folders on Teams are very important files and activities, etc., and exams and old exams that you will refer to, and they'll always be there for the rest of the year. So you can go and look at these other folders, theory notes and theory case studies, etc. So we'll refer to that later on, and the grade 10, the old books and so on. So we will then, and cram notes, by the way, that's quite important. Right, so we've opened this one already, the Excel spreadsheet. We're now going to go and open our grade 12 textbooks and data files, which is in the 2021 folder also. Now the data files are very large, so when you download them, you can download them for your computer at home. So you click there and click download, but you will have them available at school as well. The textbooks themselves you do need to download onto your computer or onto your phone so that you can work now from your theory textbook. Take note, there are 2 types of textbooks for each book. There's a print version and a web version. The print version is high resolution and it's a larger file, so when you open it, rather use the web version and of each book. So we're going to go and look at the web version now. It's best to download it, because then you have the functions of the book are more readily available. So you click there and click on download. I'm not going to waste too much time with this video because you have to start doing your quizzes. So it's busy downloading IT Theory Learner Book, and then if you don't see it, you must go automatically to your downloads folder. So you go to your downloads folder. Mine's always going to the bottom of the downloads folder, right at the bottom today, and you can find it there, and you can copy and paste it and put it wherever you want. And I'm going to put it onto, I'm just opening it from the downloads folder here now. Let's study this book a little bit. Right, so fitted by Department of Basic Education. You may not, you cannot sell these books. It's not for profit seeking purposes, okay? Now, what we have is the contents of the textbook, database management, database design, and so on. It gives a nice clear description of everything. And there's a QR code list, and the glossary is very important. Glossary, I'm going to navigate to the glossary. If you move your mouse onto the word glossary and just click on it, then it should take us to the glossary. Except it didn't quite do that now, did it? Let's try it again. I'm going to move to page 139. Nope, doesn't go. So if it doesn't go, go to the left-hand side, page thumbnails. It's a quicker way to get to the page. You can scroll down very quickly, and page 139, there it is. Now, glossary is like a definition of words. This is very important. You need to know definitions, and they're very helpful. In fact, you know your definitions, you know quite a lot already. So study your definitions. There is a list of definitions over here, glossary. Right, the other part of the textbook that we would like to look at is a QR code list. Now, this says there's links to pages to find further information in QR codes. I found that it's best for me to use my cell phone to go and link to the actual YouTube or video, whatever web page they want that the QR code navigates to, is to have a QR reader or scanner installed on the phone, pointed at the screen. Otherwise, you can actually click on the link as well. If you point to the actual link at the bottom here, it will open the web page, in this case a YouTube web page. Right, here's the Dear Learner section. Now, why is it saying grade 11? This is the grade 12 theory book. Yes, it is. Never mind. Right, every textbook has got this, every chapter has an overview, which will basically give you the contents and the units of the chapter, the learning outcomes, in other words, what you should be able to know and do by the end of the chapter. And if you can't do that, you must revise the contents. It's quite interesting. Describe how data should be cared for and managed. Describe the processes of data mining. Provide an overview of data collection. Very, very useful concepts. We also have a playlist over here. I'm going to click on this link over here at the bottom where the hand is pointing, and hopefully it will navigate to the actual playlist. And if it doesn't, then the best thing is to copy, highlight, Control C, and I'm going to copy that link into a YouTube search window, and basically it doesn't come up with anything useful. So let's go and see. That doesn't work. It's best to use the QR link over here with your phone. Have a QR scanner on your phone, installed on your phone. You can get them installed. Now, introduction. Every chapter will have, this basically is a playlist developed by the Department of Education, and you'll have a whole lot of videos, the different skills that you will need to know for this course. Right, so make sure you do that. And in our introduction, for every chapter, you're going to learn why you are learning. Basically, background on how far technology has come, and a short summary introduces the contents that will follow. Then, new words. There's always going to be a set of new words that you must learn. These are very important. Definitions are very important. So make sure you study the new words, little boxes that are in the different chapters. Then the activities for each section of the chapter. There are activities for each section, and that will help you to understand the content. You answer those questions. The take note sections, the little boxes for take note, those are very important. Interesting content. And then did you know boxes of extra information. But remember that the content in Did You Know will not be part of your exams, but it does make for interesting general knowledge about the topic. Then, of course, the QR codes. You will have a QR code in every chapter where you can go and view a YouTube channel or such. I'm going to try and click on this link again. So I've actually clicked on the HTTPS and click on Allow. And let's see, where does this one take us? And this is a video. Explore Google Data Center with Street View. Right, so that I've just demonstrated how that works. Right, consolidation activities are basically activities for the whole chapter, questions that you should ask. Now, the first one we are going to do is database management. Okay, now let's see, there's a did you know section here. Although we're supposed to know that data is unprocessed numbers, facts, or signals. And in order for humans to use data, it needs to be processed and organized into meaningful information. One way in which data is shared amongst people is by using letters and characters. Well, that's a bit of general knowledge that we know already from grade 10 and 11. What else is in this chapter? We have some activities. We have data collection. I'm trying to find another QR code for this particular chapter. See, there we are. There's a QR code for this particular chapter.
By now, most of us are used to the idea of doing stuff without actually
RFID.
having to touch anything. And while
Okay, that's talking about RFID scanners. So, for e-tags, RFID chips are basically used to get data. In other words, using digital sensors. Digital sensors. Okay, so radio frequency identification is what RFID stands for, but let's go back to our beginning of our chapter. Now, I might have a little video every day for you to go through the chapter for this week, but there's 2 chapters for this week, so I won't be covering everything in those chapters. You do have to do the reading yourself and then do the assignment, which is a quiz starting from today, and you do that in your extra time. If you can't finish it in the half hour, then you do it for homework. Okay, so this chapter is about databases and data collection. And databases, we know we learned in grade 11, was all about organizing our data into tables, etc., storing it, having relationships between those tables, and running queries on it. A very important section of your work. So in grade 11 we basically did that. We added data to tables, and we used different techniques. No, we didn't use different techniques, but you can use different techniques to capture your data. We actually used Notepad to just to import data into our tables. So we're going to learn about different techniques of capturing data. We basically did manual entry, typing data into the different tables, etc. And yeah, there are other ways of adding data to tables. Right, so we can use forms, tags, RFID, and e-tolls. Well, e-tolls is a form of using RFID. An e-tag is an RFID chip read by a toll, gantry or gate. And digital sensors. Right, so you're going to carry on and study these chapters, and I will see you again tomorrow. And if you do not finish the chapters, then, well, if you don't do it, you have to do it. You will be penalized, so make note that the quizzes are very important. Quiz for chapter 1 and quiz for chapter 2. And tomorrow the quiz for chapter 2 will be uploaded as an assignment on Teams. Today you have the quiz for chapter 1. So you can start with chapter 1 today, and you do that in your homework spare time. If you can't finish it, obviously every day you have to work. Right, so that is everything in a nutshell, and stay safe.